Good evening. I'm Chanel, vehicle title expert. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you in advance for subscribing. So, did you go to the DMV to title and register a vehicle you just purchased only to be rejected because there is an error or an alteration on that title? And the DMV has told you that you need to get a duplicate title. What the DMV does not tell you is a lot of times is that duplicate title is not going to be in your name, and they don't talk about the loophole or challenges that you could face when you're trying to get that duplicate title. So when it comes to a duplicate title, let me just explain. In order to get that duplicate title, you must be the owner or the designated party. Now, that duplicate title must first have had an original title. You cannot get a duplicate title if there is no existing title record. Okay. As an example, I have here an Indiana title. So, in the event you purchase a vehicle from this owner on the Indiana title, and the owner made a mistake, okay, you would go to the owner on record, the current owner, and ask them to get a duplicate title, okay, or they will give you POA or another party POA to get that duplicate title on their behalf. Once that duplicate title prints out, then they will sign over to you again, the buyer. You go to the DMV and you will get the title in your name. That's the very basic situation here, or scenario in terms of you getting that duplicate title. Okay. But unfortunately, things sometimes can become a little bit more complicated. Same scenario. Let's say we have this Indiana title here again, but on the back, we have multiple reassignment sections completed. We have multiple dealers on this title, and let's say the last reassignment will be in your name. You were the last person who took ownership of that vehicle, okay, and the DMV rejects you. So one of those dealers on the back, or the dealer that made the mistake on the back of this Indiana title, would hopefully reach out to the person on the front of that Indiana title, okay, and ask them, can they obtain a duplicate on their behalf, or that owner would give POA to someone else to get a duplicate title for them. The problem with that, though, is this type of transaction is, unfortunately, sometimes that owner may be long gone, because with dealer transactions, depending on the length of it, it could be a long time. So the owner may have moved, they may no longer be trackable, and then sometimes the owner may not want to come forward and help out with the transaction because they no longer own the vehicle. Okay, so that is something that can happen when it comes to having multiple reassignments if you purchase from a dealership. Okay, but I want you guys to just be aware that if you're trying to get a duplicate title, these are the possibilities regarding, what can happen. Okay, that title that the DMV is telling you to get is not going to be in your name. Okay, there's a process. Okay, so I just want you guys to be aware of what you will need to do when that DMV rejects you. Okay, make sure you're going to be prepared to go through that process. Now, the good news though is if you purchase your vehicle from a dealership and that dealership made a mistake and the DMV is telling you to get a duplicate title, that dealership must comply. That's the good news there. The dealership must comply, and they must do what they need to do legally to get that title so that you can be in compliance and be satisfied and, title and register properly as the consumer. So that's the good news there. You shouldn't be, dealing with that type of scenario, but that dealership or the auction should be helping you to make sure your title is in fact, correct at the end. Okay, so I just wanted to shed some light on what it really means to get a duplicate title and the loopholes or challenges that you can face when you're trying to get that duplicate. So if you want to share your experience or your feedback pertaining to the segment on tonight, feel free to drop me a line below or visit me at wisdomandauthority.com. Follow me on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Click share and subscribe. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.